Marshall, y'all. Nathan Marshall. I'm kind of crazy. I was raised by crazy parents. They prepared me for the real world by using the worst case scenario. Like, for instance, we'd be driving in a car and I wouldn't have my seatbelt on, and they'd be like, oh, you better fasten your seatbelts, because when we wreck, it was never if we wreck, it was always when we wreck. Like, they just planned on going loony one night, driving straight into the headlights of an oncoming semi and playing some chicken. My mom always flipped out a little bit more than my dad. She'd be like, we're telling you, if you don't fasten your seatbelt, you're gonna go flying straight through that windshield, which will slice your body into a bloody mess, and leave the remains of your corpse skidding across the highway, which will only be stopped by an oncoming gas tanker, which made your dying corpse flip and explode upon impact of the ground, leaving your body nothing but a smoldering pile of flesh that the paramedics have to scrape off the highway with a snow shovel. Now, you don't want that to happen, do you? I'm like, Mom, that would never, ever happen. She's like, wanna bet? I've seen it happen twice. Why have parents always seen the weirdest things happen more than once? And then you call them out on it. You're like, where could you have possibly seen this happen twice, Mom? She's like, on TV. Someone needs to tell my mom just because you see something on CSI Miami doesn't mean it's going to happen in real life. Yeah, I've been watching all these fights in sports recently. They're pretty good fights, but they don't compare to the best fights you'll ever see, which are in high school. No matter how bad your day was in high school, you saw a fight, your day was awesome. People would walk around like, I cut a finger off today in shop, but it don't matter because I saw a fight. There's always a weird combination of kids that got into the fights. There's always like the foreign exchange student from Holland versus the kid who made all-state choir 4 years in a row. Everyone would gather around him and be like, hit him with your wooden shoes, Dutchie. No, make his ears bleed with an F-sharp choir, boy. Girls' fights are my favorite. The girls, when they go into a fight, they go into the plan. They plan like 10 weeks ahead of time. They're like, dear day planner. The first thing I'm going to do to Sarah when I see her is rip her right sleeve exactly 3 inches. Then I'm going to punch her to make sure she has a black eye for the dance. And then I'm going to cut her hair to a mullet. When they actually go into the fight, what do you get? I hate you so much! Cat fight? The obligatory guy standing around hoping a boob pops out. Guys, when we fight in high school, we just do whatever we saw on Monday Night Raw that week. We fight 10 people, we're just like, don't worry, and this move's called the stunner. Just gonna walk in, give him a kick, hit him with the stunner, I'll be out before you know it. What we don't realize as high school students is that wrestling is fake. No one's going to let you pile drive in through a flaming cable. There was always that one really nerdy kid in high school too, who took in a couple karate lessons, so he thought he was Bruce Lee. This kid would walk around in his silk dragon print pajamas, praying that someone would pick a fight with him so he could use his martial arts. Then when someone finally did fight him, he's so excited, he couldn't quit smiling. Because he already planned to do his cartwheel into a moonsault backflip with a spinning roundhouse kick. The problem is he never made it past yellow belt. So he'd go for the spinning roundhouse kick, miss by about 3 feet, slip on his pivot foot, and fall into a bike rack. And all the teachers were rushing in like they were a special forces unit. They came in and be like, okay, Mrs. Rasmussen, you and Vice Principal Skinner go around the right, me and the lesbian. Yes, we're going. You're the one surprised. What's great? It's a go, go, go. Sit through all the kids, grab onto combatants, yank him back with so much force he'd get more hurt than the fight itself. Then we drag him to the office like, you're going to the office, mister. I think I got a concussion. No, you got detention. That's what you got. Funniest thing about fights in high school was the next week, the kids that fought would be best friends. How does that happen? How does, like, 1 week you're mortal enemies, next week you're best friends? Does one of them just walk up to the other and be like, hey man, you're right. I just want to look in the mirror and I am a freak of nature. All right, just point that out. Put her here, your best friend, put her here. Thanks, you guys have been great. Have a good night. Nathan Marshall.